Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video, and in this video I'll be explaining, top 5 reasons why I do not want 2020 to come, right? Unfortunately, I forgot what today is. I believe today is November 20th, 2019. Yes man, so whew, we're less than 40 days away from a very new decade, or from, call it a new year, right? Call it whatever you want. But that's not what the YouTube is about. Unfortunately, 2020 is almost here, guys, and I know that some of you might be excited for 2020 and some of you may not be excited for 2020, right? But in this video, I'll tell you why, I am not excited for 2020, right? And I already see a few witnesses of like why 2020 is going to be a very terrible year. Like, it's going to be the worst year in like possible history, right? I thought 2020 is going to be the craziest year ever, but it's just going to get like worse and worse. Every year gets worse. I keep saying this all the time, and I'm just seeing like more weaknesses and like more, like terrible, like when I'm living every year, like when I'm living through, the world, something like I already experienced like trouble in paradise. It's just coming and coming, and the problem just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and just never stops growing, right? It just keeps expanding. So here are the top 5 reasons, like why 2020 is possibly gonna be, why I do not want 2020 to come, right? So let me make a quick recap of like what happened in 2019, right? 2019, a lots of, crazy, things already happened, like here and there, unrealistic, like a lot of crazy thing has been happening in 2019, that's probably going to be repetitive in 2020, except 2020 is going to make it even bigger and worse, right? Yeah, and I already see like more new problems in 2020, So in 20, and let me recap of like what happened in 2019, like lots of crazy things happened, like I've got, climate, been crazy, sport went crazy, people went crazy, and, just lots of crazy news, and, I went crazy, and just so many crazy, chaotic things I'm just like seeing happen in 2019. And I cannot explain all this video now, like, now we have to look into next year like, oh, is this gonna be the same thing over and over again? I'm like, dude. I'm like, come on there, man. I mean, most likely will, but hopefully I'm wrong. But as a doubt, like, I'm not gonna be wrong. I'm most likely gonna be correct, right? So yeah, this is what happened in 2019, man. Like, yeah, I already explained to you like why, lots of things has been changing and all stuff, and like it's like totally different from last year. Every year is like totally different, right? I mean, is it for the worse or better? Like, I think that it gets changed for the worse. I'm not thinking negative or positive or anything like that. It has nothing to do with my thinking, but it's just the way I see like the problem just getting like piled up really quickly. So anyway, here is, list of 5 reasons of like why 2020 I don't want 2020 to come, right? So the number 5 reason, why I do not want 2020 to come is because I will not have a bright future, right? Yeah, like every single year, I struggle, I struggle like every single goddamn year, right? From beginning to the end, and yeah, that every year I keep being the ovens, right? Keep like getting in trouble, keep having, lots of bad habit, keep making the same mistake over and over and over and over again, and just never learn. And I'm pretty much like there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I'm pretty much gonna be the same Vince, as every single year. Like, keep upsetting people, like keep, and my YouTube channel's not gonna blow up. Like, it's gonna be the same thing every single year, right? everybody knows how I behave these days, right? By watching through my YouTube, how I behave, right? You know, I'm just gonna cause more trouble. You know, just gonna stay the same old Vince, and the same old Vince is gonna keep playing video game. You know, keep doing like fail. You know, and studying and all stuff, and just gonna keep having more trouble and trouble, right? And this is why, you know, I won't have a bright future, right? So next year, you know, there's one good thing is that I'm gonna get a job, right? You know, working for my, you know, uncle's, company. And yeah, like, don't be surprised that if I get fired or if I didn't get hired or not. Like, don't be surprised, because looking the way I am, man, looking the way I perform, you know, this year, like I don't see a really good reason like why, you know, like I should get a job, you know, because I keep struggling every single year. I keep having so much problems, right? And yeah, and I may have faced it. And another reason why, you know, my future might not be bright is because, you know, I might get into a major accident and all stuff, right? It could happen this year, late this year, or maybe, you know, early next year, or sometime, you know, in the nearby future, right? You know, one day I will face against, you know, major consequences where I get an accident, where, you know, things might not go right, or yeah, I'm most likely gonna face into like, you know, a huge accident, right? That will cost me like tons of, you know, dollars and money, right? Where I may get paid, you know, a huge fine and all stuff, but I could tell that you know, like something is that I will face, you know, a major consequence in the nearby future, right? I'm just seeing it that way. I don't see like how am I gonna get better, right? Like I am experiencing, you know, futures, you know, witnesses about my future witnesses, right? So, and also you know, like due to my stupidity, I probably can get more injured and all that stuff, and then lots of things are not going to go that well, not that smooth, right? So this is why, you know, my future is not going to be that bright. If you cannot understand what I'm saying, then just comment below, right? Okay, so this is the number 5th reason, you know, why 2020, I don't want 2020 to come, right? Just more the same thing as myself, right? And just, you know, just digging the hole deeper and stuff like that, right? So anyway, here's the number 4th reason, you know, like why, you know, 2020, I do not want 2020 to come, right? It's just, you know, like more crazy unrealistic news. Yeah, just a lot of crazy thing that's been happening, and it's like unrealistic, and like it's just like keeps shocking me, and it just caused me distraction. And sometimes crazy, you know, news happen and it just comes out of nowhere, and I just like simply don't believe it, right? Like I give you like a big example, you know, like why I hate when the new year comes. Like let's say for example, you know, like watching like sport league, like NBA and all that stuff, like I didn't expect, you know, the whole league to change like this much, like because, you know, the crazy off season and all that stuff. But yeah, like more crazy news like, oh, it's gonna rain, you know, oh, the rain season gonna end late, you know, from where I live, or, you know, the stupid climate change, you know, like yeah, I know why the, you know, the climate is like crazy, you know, these days, because, you know, because of the human, you know, green, I don't know, global gas, you know, emission or something like that, you know, changes the weather, you know. Just, you know, like more hot weather, more extreme weather, more cold weather, more like rain weather, and more of like everything, right? And I don't know what's the crazy unrealistic news that I never heard of. I'm pretty sure that there's lots of news that I didn't heard of, but they must be crazy as hell, man. Like I don't even watch, you know, news that much, but I can see that they're crazy, right? I don't know what's up with, you know, Trump these days, you know. Like he gets like this impeachment or something, like yeah, he gets in trouble with the law. Like I don't know what this, you know, crazy Trump is, man. That's what the crazy unrealistic news is. Now we have, you know, a crazy president that pretty much, you know, is gonna hurt America, right? You know what I'm talking about, Donald Trump, right? Yeah, like I don't know what he do. If he does something like so stupid and crazy, like oh my god, US might not look, as a powerful country anymore. Like, yeah, it's because of, Donald Trump. This is why, a lot of people don't like Donald Trump, right? He could create, like more crazy unrealistic news that could, occur in 2020, right? That we're just not seeing right now. Like, this guy's unpredictable, and I don't know much about Trump. Yeah, like I said, man, I don't pay attention, much into politics and all that stuff, and I mean, this is why, like 2020, is gonna be a sucking year, man. Right? In other crazy news, like it's gonna go like so crazy, and I know that 2020 is gonna be, the Olympic year, right? So who knows, man? Maybe there could be a major injury. Maybe, like more people can take steroids, something like that. This is why I'm not looking forward to 2020. When this like crazy unrealistic news, and yeah, I know that Olympics coming in 2020. Happen every 4 years, right? So yeah, things are just gonna only get crazier, and it's just gonna, like give me headaches and all stuff when I'm listening to this bunch of crazy unrealistic news. Like 2019, like I have enough headache of 2019, right? I've been hearing all crazy news, and I'm just like overreacting, right? And when 2020 comes, things get a little crazier, and then, like I just cannot like I cannot like explain, any further of like why, this year is gonna get crazy, right? And then number three reason, like why I do not want 2020 to come, right? Is the wealth gap, right? Yeah, like wealth gap, like 50 or 60 years ago, like wasn't too big of a difference, right? But do you know what the wealth gap is? If you don't know what the wealth gap is, I'll explain to you in a little bit of detail. Wealth gap is, the gap between the rich and the poor, right? Yeah, I heard that there's a possible. I watched on YouTube, just earlier today, like there's a possible, there's a possible chance of like the wealth gap that could expand, right? So that means the poor is gonna get poor, and the rich is gonna get richer, and the wealth gap is just gonna only get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? This is why I heard like, oh, this baby boomer and all that stuff, like, oh, like each baby should get, this amount of money and all that stuff, right? I mean, I read an article, like a couple of years back, like how to fix this wealth gap thing, right? Yeah, so that's why I'm not looking for 2020, because, because of the wealth gap, right? Yeah, and it's not good, because, people are just so greedy these days, like, the richest only cares to get richer, and the poor, like have hard time surviving, and eventually they get poorer and poorer and poorer, and soon they'll be broke, right? There's just gonna be lots of people who are broke, right? I've got feeling like a lot of people, like majority of the population are living in poor rather than people who are living in the rich, right? I don't know what the exact statistic is, but I heard that the wealth gap is gonna only get bigger, as the year comes by, right? I just can't think of another reason, why I do not want 2020 to come, but I'm just saying that wealth gap is possibly one reason. And if you live in the poor, then you experience like how bad is the wealth gap is, right? I wish the wealth gap between the rich and the poor, shrinks, but I got a feeling it's not gonna shrink. Maybe it shrink, some other country and stuff, but I don't know. Maybe just not in the U.S. or other country, like the wealth gap is only gonna get bigger. And then number two reason, why I do not want 2020 to come is because, possible global clash, right? So what happened, back in 2008, where George, like, I don't know, well, like, why, George Bush, or, America went to, like, a big crash in like 2008, like just comment below, right? I heard that, yeah, there's a big, global crash, in the US in 2008, and a lot of people went unemployment, that's what happened to one of my parents, one of my parents, went, unemployment and all stuff, and so we don't have enough money, go to vacation or spend on other all stuff. Like 2020 could be like another 2008, right? And I got a feeling that yeah, like there's a good chance, you know, where 2020 is gonna be a global crash. Especially, you know, like Trump is possibly, you know, the worst president in the United States, and he's gonna be probably worse than Bush, in most people's opinion, right? Like he's just gonna make like this crazy, you know, like dumb decision, you know, where it just drags the U.S. down, you know, and possibly, you know, possibly because of lots of unemployment and because, you know, people's technology right now, people, you know, creating like more robots and stuff, like doing, you know, work for the company and just lay off all the people. And I'm just saying, like, why, you know, like I don't see, you know, the bright future of like 2020 at all, right? Yeah, and also because, you know, Trump may, you know, want to fight, you know, other country. He wants to fight like China or, you know, other country or Afghanistan. You never know like what country that Trump wants to go against one. And when he go against other country, like he just wants to, you know, like fight or, you know, or stop trading with, you know, US, or I don't know what Trump does, man. Like this crazy dude, right? Yeah, and there's like two of the big reasons, you know, why I do not want 2020 come is because, you know, two of those reasons because of Trump, right? You just never know what he does, man. And I remember that he said build that wall, and he's just trying to make, you know, the Mexican government, you know, pay money and stuff. But it's a little off topic, but I just tell you like how terrible Trump is, man. I mean, yeah, global cash, right? And just when there's global cash, you know, a lot of people it's gonna be unemployment, right? And without money, you just can't survive, and you just basically only have to spend money literally on food and drink. That's all you have money technically for, and you may not even have money to survive. So why not look forward to 2020, huh? Okay, so here is the number one gigantic main reason, you know, like why 2020 is gonna be a very terrible year. And I don't want January 1st of 2020 to come. Like, I swear to God, like, I do not want 2020 to come. I know that I hate 2019, man, so much, but I do not want 2019 to end. And you can already see in your perspective, like, even though you hate 2019, like, why you don't want 2019 to end. Yeah, you could see, like, the future is gonna get worse than the present this year, right? Because when I record is 2019, right? When you watch this, maybe some other year, 2020 or 2021, right? It's YouTube. Now YouTube is gonna die in 2020, you know. Everybody like knows it. If you've been watching YouTube, you know, every single day, all day, and you watch all the YouTube news, like you should already know like why 2020 is gonna be a that is going to be the number one reason why I do not want 2020 to come. It's because of YouTube, right? Now, you know what happened to YouTube, you know, like a few weeks ago, a month ago? They get fined by the FTC. If you don't know what the FTC is, it's like Federal, you know, Trade Commission or something like that. Yeah, they fined YouTube, you know, $170 million for, you know, just because, you know, they did something wrong. Like, I don't know the exact problem, you know, why YouTube gets fined, you know, $170 million. Yeah, because, you know, just a lot of inappropriate content, you know, that's targeting kids, you know, like, yeah, YouTube has to try their best, you know, like, to make a video appropriate as possible, you know, that is not affecting, you know, kids under age of 18, like, there's lots of, like, restriction, you know, video that can be shown on YouTube, you know, unless you're over 18 or over, right? I mean, yeah, man, because when you're under 18, you're definitely considered as a minor, right? And so, you know, like, YouTube is just like, YouTube rule will be changed in 2020, and it's gonna suck big time, man. It's gonna suck. Like, a lot of videos is possibly gonna get removed from the YouTube, so what does the rule has to do with me, right? It's gonna affect everybody, like all the users, like, yeah, the reason why, you know, 2020 is and YouTube gonna suck because lots of video will disappear and YouTube is gonna lose a lot of revenue and a lot of viewers, right? I mean, this social media might go down, right? So when our current time hits January 1st, 2020, 12 a.m. right on the dot of the new year, then everything changed. I know that YouTube has, strictness guideline, but I guess like they still get fined because, because of the YouTube guidelines not strict enough, I guess. And they just try and make this, like YouTube, more family friendly ever. Yeah, so anyway, so if you I know that if people break the YouTube guideline, they're probably gonna strike or probably get their channel taken down, right? But now, when 2020 comes, the YouTube guideline is very strict, right? They do not allow, cussing, if you cuss in the video or if you show, your very inappropriate, like stuff, like inappropriate stuff, like your private part, or do like inappropriate thing, or like doing stupid things on YouTube and or making a big video, your channel is most likely gonna get taken down. Seriously, and I know that I've done a lot of stupid things in the past, right? That will actually cause YouTube just to take down my video, right? Aside from copyright or recording music, if you get copyright or if you do like just if you violate one of like little of YouTube guideline, then your video will be taken down for good. Like I know that lots of people like a certain video and lots of views can disappear because because of new guideline, right? And lots of channel we get taken out, and I'm really worried for my YouTube channel. I am extremely worried because because the FTC might take down my channel, because I just show lots of inappropriate content in the past video, right? I'm pretty sure like most of my video, I probably use some foul language on stuff, so they're either gonna censor it, or they're either gonna mute it, or they're either gonna take it down. Like I don't know what's gonna happen to my YouTube channel, right? I know that I've been having this YouTube channel like since like 2014, and so like 5 years later, all of a sudden it disappeared. It's because of YouTube guideline, right? So comment below like if I should make a video about this YouTube thing, right? Why it would like end up in the grave in 2020, right? And because of the guideline has been changed in 2020, like a lots of even popular YouTube channels are gonna disappear, right? Like Markiplier, Super Mario Logan, make Nuggets, the crazy psycho guy, and many more, right? And just many more popular YouTube that does like like crazy savage thing. Like a lots of people are gonna disappear in 2020 on YouTube, right? And I know that it's gonna suck for a lot of you, right? I know that you're gonna miss them and they're gonna have to move on to something else different, and a lot of people cannot make monetize out of YouTube anymore, right? You can easily like get in trouble with YouTube, in 2020, right? I swear I do not want this year to ever gonna come. I wish time just has stopped, but it just has to keep going and going and going. Like there's nothing we can do about it. It's just how it is, man, and I wish I was wrong, but I'm most likely gonna be correct. Okay, like there's probably gonna be like more reason like why 2020 should never come, right? So I have to end this video off here, and please hit a like button if you agree, or hit a dislike button if you don't agree, but I got a feeling these things are gonna happen for sure. Like it's not gonna be fake at all. Like I wish it's fake, I wish it's false information I tell you, but I got a feeling no, man. So I have to go here and enjoy watching the 25-minute video of like why I don't want 2020 to come, and that's all I have to say for this video. So I got a piece out here and I got to go and do something else. Bye bye.